What is good? What is up? It's Jordan, Texans Thoughts, and I'm back with another video. Today, I'm going to release and break down my 32-team mock draft. We're going to try our best to predict how this first round is going to go, and then don't worry, Texans fans, we'll do a nice 7-round mock draft just for us, so stay tuned. That'll be at the end of the video, but if you enjoy the mock draft, hit the like, subscribe. If you hate it, you think I'm stupid and messed up your team's pick, alright, let me know in the comments below, or come join me as I live stream all 3 days of the draft this week, and you can hear my thoughts on every single pick, and I can even break down some film for us live on the stream. So definitely tune in for that, but now let's get into the mock draft. With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Quinn Nordin, kicker out of the University of Michigan. Nordin completed 2 out of his 5 field goals this past season. Yeah, hey Jordan, you can't give the Jags a kicker. What? Come on, you serious? Yeah, no, they've been through too much as a franchise. Okay, fine. With the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. The Jaguars get their supposed quarterback of the future. Trevor, the Golden Boy, boasts elite measurements and physical traits for the position, with a cannon for an arm and great accuracy to go with it. He's an underrated and powerful runner with one of the highest ceilings of any quarterback prospect in the last 5 to 7 years. I'll say it right now, he's not a perfect home run hit. He needs to work on dealing with pressure and really won't look great without at least average offensive line play. However, his ceiling is just something you can't pass up on if you are the Jacksonville Jaguars, and hopefully they can build around him successfully and get out from under the basement of the AFC South. Moving on to the big green apple, and we've got the New York Jets on the clock, and I want to start off by saying this mock draft is what I think will happen, not necessarily what I would do, because if I'm the Jets, Justin Fields is my guy. And if you want to hear my full thoughts on why, you gotta come through for the live stream. I'll talk about it Thursday night. But I'm not Joe Douglas, the Jets GM, and what I think he will do is make Zach Wilson out of BYU the future face of the franchise. Wilson boasts unreal off-script playmaking ability and can launch bombs with just the flick of his wrist. Wrist flick Wilson has a crazy high ceiling, and for the sanity of Jets fans, I just hope his small frame and already worrisome injury concerns doesn't hurt him in the long run, because he can really help turn this franchise around. Mr. Douglas, please protect Wilson, give him the clean pocket he enjoyed in college, and keep him off the ground. You do that, Wilson continues to put the work in, and you've got a potential top 10 quarterback on your hands. And your girl's hands are going to be all over you if you start wearing F custom jerseys. Starting at just $20.99, you can customize football, basketball, baseball jerseys, and even hoodies with whatever you like. The quality on these are top notch, and I'll be giving away 1 jersey to somebody who does all these things. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment jersey please, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll randomly select one of you guys and get you an F custom jersey. But you got to do all 5 of these things. Good luck. Alright, probably the hardest pick to figure out so far, because the 49ers are sending more mixed signals than damn Brittany in 8th grade science class. Is it Justin Fields? Is it Trey Lance? Is it Mac Jones?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
What the hell will Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch do? Look, I'm of the mindset that Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in this class. I don't think he's that far away from Lawrence, but that's a conversation for another day. And I think both Lynch and Shanahan are smart football minds, so they're tired of the super smart, super accurate, but physically limited quarterback. Give them the guy who has all the physical traits you could want. He has the natural accuracy, but just needs some coaching and refinement before he hits his ceiling. bring the San Francisco 49ers Justin Fields. Not gonna lie, I'm glad my team doesn't play in the NFC, because pairing Shanahan's brain and tutelage with the amount of raw talent oozing out of Justin Fields is going to be a dangerous combination for the future, and something that will rival the Reed-Mahomes connection. 49ers fans, y'all paid a big price, but if Fields is truly the pick and not Mac Jones, rest easy, because it'll all be worth it. Oh shit, we got ourselves the first trade of the draft, and the Atlanta Falcons are moving down and the Denver Broncos are taking their spot. Now, what in the hell are they moving up for? Is it Kyle Pitts? Is it Jermar Chase? Nah, y'all know the deal by now. It's for a quarterback, and it is Mac Jones. And before you yell at me, remember, this is not what I would do. I wouldn't touch Mac Jones with a 10-foot pole in the first damn round. But John Elway would. John Elway would 100% draft an overhyped quarterback with a meh arm and meh mobility, who also happens to not even be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in his damn class. And I know what Broncos fans are gonna say: John Elway relinquished roster control to the new GM. Maybe I'm crazy and haunted by the Texans' horrible front office, so I don't trust other front offices, but if you don't think John Elway is going to at least have some sort of a say in this monumental franchise decision and try and push for his guy, come on now. Maybe you just don't know how tough of a negotiator Elway really is. Either way, it's very likely that the quarterback is going to be a pick for the Broncos, and I just don't see Trey Lance being taken this high. There's way too much smoke around the hype of Mac Jones for the league to not actually be somewhat high on him. So good luck, Drew Lock. Monster Mac is coming for you. At number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock, and they have a tough decision on their hands. Most people believe it's between Penei Sewell and Jamar Chase, as they are arguably the best guys available and likely to be available at 5. Now, in my opinion, this is easy. Protect Joey Burrow and get him a freak of an offensive line prospect who can start at left tackle for over a decade. But I don't think the Bengals front office is that smart. I mean, they let Carl Lawson and William Jackson III walk and signed Trey Hendrickson, who is wildly overrated, and Eli Apple plus Chidobe Awuzie to replace them. I don't know, man. NFL teams do dumb things all the time, and I don't think the Bengals will be able to resist giving Joey Burrow his top dog at wide receiver, Jamar Chase. Now, I love Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, don't get me wrong, but neither of them are Jamar Chase. And you give Joe Burrow these 3 wide receivers whose respective games resemble what he had at LSU pretty damn well. Then you can go figure out how to protect Burrow in the other 6 rounds of the draft. Chase is the sexy pick here, and with the likely instant chemistry he'll have with Burrow, the dude should be an early favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year. On to number 6, and while I still don't think you can rule out a potential Deshaun Watson trade here, the player I pick for the Dolphins or the Texans will very likely be the same either way. So let's welcome my top wide receiver in the class, Devontae "Too Skinny" Smith. Yup, you heard that right. Smith is my wide receiver 1, and I don't give a damn that he's 166. Don't care. He could be just 66 pounds or 666 pounds, but if he plays like he does right now at 166, I don't give a damn, because his lack of muscle doesn't hurt him on the field. He gets open at will, not even letting defenders get hands on him at the line of scrimmage. He makes contested catches all over defenders and simply plays bigger than his size. You want to talk about player comparisons? I got you. Marvin Harrison and Isaac Bruce, 2 Hall of Famers. And that's what I think Smith could be as well. He's an athletic outlier, that is for sure. He's not supposed to moss defenders at just 166. But Aaron Donald wasn't supposed to be such a powerful defensive tackle for how undersized he was. Derrick Henry wasn't supposed to be that fast for how massive of a running back he was. They beat the odds. The elites of the elites in the NFL are athletic outliers. They're guys who can do things that 99% of the world can't do. They defy the odds that draft pundits try to box them inside. He's too skinny. His college dominator isn't that high. He broke out at too old of an age. Stop it with all these bullshit stats and watch some damn film. Because Jair Alexander couldn't cover Smith in 2018. Because JC Horn or Derek Stingley couldn't cover him in 2019. And Kelvin Joseph, Eric Stokes, and Tyson Campbell couldn't sniff him in 2020. Smith has the traits. He has the production. He has the mindset to prove the doubters wrong. Sleep on Devontae Smith at your own will. I know I won't. At number 7, the Detroit Lions are on the clock, and I'm gonna be honest, I have zero idea what the kind of ankle biter they're gonna draft. They have holes all over their roster, but I think they're gonna miss Darius Slay so damn much that Patrick Surtain will be too hard to pass up on. To be clear, JC Horn is my number 1 cornerback, but again, NFL teams do dumb things and draft the wrong guys all the time. I totally get the hype behind Surtain. He's tall, he's long, he's fast, he's got a great track record of success. He can be a cornerback 1 for you. I like Pat. I just love JC Horn. But the Lions get one of the top 3 to 5 defenders in this class and should be damn happy about it. With the Carolina Panthers on the clock, they've got an easy decision to make with how the board has played out. Trey Lance, not a necessity. Give Sam Darnold a better situation than he had in New York, and let's see what he's got. You know what really killed Darnold almost as much as Adam Gase? The Jets trotted out 5 damn Chris Clarks on the offensive line, and say good f***ing luck, Sam. Well, Matt Rule ain't gonna let that happen. So Penei Sewell's slide stops right here, right now. The Panthers get their left tackle of the future, and goddamn, he's a good one. For Sewell to look as good as he did as a 19-year-old teenager is absolutely ridiculous. His ceiling is so damn high, and he's not even close to reaching it. Good job, Carolina. Atlanta is on the clock, and after trading down from 4, they get crazy lucky and pick the player they probably would have taken at 4 anyways. Now, I totally get Trey Lance right here, but for some reason, this team seems very invested in Matt Ryan. Personally, I just let Lance sit behind Ryan for a year or 2 and then unleash the beast that he'll become. But I also find it insanely hard for tight end loving Arthur Smith to pass on the mismatch weapon that is Kyle Pitts. This is a steal at 9 and a great situation for Pitts to succeed in. With an offensive genius in Smith, Pitts' versatility can be fully maximized. And good luck to the NFC South on trying to guard Julio, Ridley, and Pitts 2 times a year. Who needs a defense then? Atlanta is going to be so fun to watch. The Cowboys sit tight at 10 and let the best defensive player in the draft fall right into their lap. JC Horn is a dog. I think he's the best cornerback prospect since Jalen Ramsey, and the two have very similar games. Both have elite size, measurements, and athletic testing, and play with an alpha dog mentality that you just can't teach. Like Ramsey, Horn can also play in any coverage you want, on the boundary, in the slot, and even as a safety. He can cover Kyle Pitts and wide receivers of all shapes and sizes. Horn can truly do it all, and that's why I think he's the best cornerback in this class and a favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. Byron Jones and Chidobe Awuzie are gone. Now enter the tall, long, and physical cornerbacks in Horn and Trevon Diggs. Cowboys fans have gotta like that. At 11, the Giants should be looking to make Daniel Jones' job as easy as possible and erase any more potential excuses. So, they take a potential game-changing wide receiver and a great compliment to Darius Slayton. Jalen Waddle is the closest thing we've ever seen to Tyreek Hill. Now, before I watched him play, I honestly thought people were over-exaggerating with this comparison, but they ain't. Hill doesn't just have elite speed, but also explosive cutting ability, sharp routes, and good hands in contested catch scenarios. Waddle has all of those traits in spades, and it makes him someone who defensive coordinators have to dedicate two defenders towards. Daniel Jones just needs to get it in the vicinity of Waddle's ballpark and he'll go get it for you. We've got our second trade of the mock, and the Eagles will be pissing their fans off with this one. After trading down from 6 to 12, there's just no wide receiver or cornerback that's really worth taking here. So they trade down again and get rewarded with a haul from the Washington football team. The pick, you ask? Trey Lance, giving Washington the best quarterback prospect they've had since RG3. Lance is one of the biggest boom or bust players in this entire class despite the position, and he should be given as much time as he needs to develop at his own pace. Let Taylor Heineke see if he can pull off some more unforeseen magic. He can keep the seat warm until Trey is ready to steer the ship. Washington already has a playoff-ready defense, a wide receiver 1, and a promising young running back. Now they have a potential game-changing quarterback to take them all the way. At 13, the Chargers are in desperate need of a tackle to protect Justin Herbert, and need matches best player available here with Rashawn Slater. Some people want to move him to guard, and the Chargers could certainly go down that path in the future, but I think he's more than worth a shot at tackle first. Herbert proved all the doubters wrong, and honestly the only thing that will really hold him back is if he's never given the help he needs. He's got weapons, and now after drafting Slater, the Chargers only need to draft 4 more offensive linemen instead of 5. At 14, the Vikings could go in any possible direction here, and predicting this pick was pretty difficult. At the end of the day, I think Zimmer gets too annoyed with not having 2 stud defensive ends anymore, and he drafts Jalen Phillips to play across from Danielle Hunter. Phillips possesses nearly the same freakish athleticism that Hunter did coming out of college, but he's far more polished and refined as a pass rusher. He's got TJ Watt level of technique coming out of college, having a variety of pass rush moves and counters in his repertoire. His talent is worthy of a top 7 pick, but the red flag medicals will likely cause him to fall. At 14 though, the risk is extremely worth the reward. Go make that mini defense great again. At 15, thank God Justin Fields or Trey Lance are not here to help Belichick get back onto the throne of the NFL. Instead, they'll take a potentially revolutionary defensive player by the name of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. JOK has the coverage skills of a nickel cornerback in a strong safety's body, and plays with the tenacity and violence of a strong side linebacker. He is the perfect player for the star position, being able to defend the run, cover in space, and blitz the quarterback. Bill's gonna love having this chess piece at his disposal, and I bet JOK can single-handedly get another overrated New England defensive coach a head coaching gig. With the Cardinals on the clock, this pick took me longer than I expected. I wanted to give them Kwity Paye, but it just doesn't seem like there'd be many snaps available with Chandler Jones and JJ Watt. So instead, I'm going with a different talented defender in Caleb Farley. It's sad to see Pat Pete change uniforms, and the Cardinals would be wise to look for his replacement. In a division with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk, you can never have enough cornerbacks. Farley's medicals will certainly be an issue, but the other top cornerbacks, Greg Newsome and Kelvin Joseph, they have some red flags as well. Farley's ceiling is definitely worth betting on here, and iron will sharpen iron as you'll practice versus DeAndre Hopkins every day.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
As John Gruden and Mike Mayock try and just not get ridiculed for their next draft pick, one thing's for sure, they love their blue chip prospects from big time schools. A lot of people smarter than me have Christian Barmore as the top defensive tackle this year. For me, he's my defensive tackle 4, but I can definitely see Gruden falling in love with Barmore's ceiling. With moving on from Maurice Hurst and Malik Collins, there is a massive hole at 3-tech defensive tackle, and that's an extremely important position for new defensive coordinator Gus Bradley's system. Getting pressure by just rushing 4 is pivotal, and that's the hope for Barmore's projection at the next level. Get after the damn quarterback, Vegas. The Dolphins are back on the clock for their second pick of the day, and they get to fill a need while taking the best player available in my opinion, and that is Mr. Tevin Jenkins himself. The dude is going to be a fixture at right tackle for a decade, and protecting Tua's blind side needs to be a priority. Jenkins blocks like he has a personal vendetta against his opponents, and he has so much room to improve before he hits his Pro Bowl and honestly even All-Pro potential. Miami's made Tua's job a whole lot easier by adding Smith and now Jenkins. It's time for the Tua takeover. Alright, Philly traded down to 19 and they take a player who they could have easily taken at 12, but now get much better value. Kwity Paye is going to further strengthen the Eagles' defensive line, and this is a pick for the future. Brandon Graham is aging like fine wine, but even he can't fly forever. Paye is raw, but the potential is ridiculous. Pair his tenacity, energy, and pure athleticism with the knowledge and technique Graham can teach him, and Paye will be a terror to block for years. Bears are the Bears, so this pick is probably one of the hardest to predict in the entire draft, but they get beat out by Washington in terms of trading up for Trey Lance. So now where do they go? Well, it never hurts to improve the trenches, so Ryan Pace gets Christian Darrisaw to solidify their tackle situation. Whichever quarterback they take on day 2 or day 3 of the draft, or Andy Dalton. No. Will be more successful with Darrisaw blocking. David Montgomery will be more successful with Darrisaw blocking. And there will be nothing blocking the Bears from a top 3 pick in 2022, where they will likely take their franchise quarterback. White quarterback out of UNC, anybody? At 21, we get trade number 3, and looking at all the players on the board, the Colts decide to regain some draft capital that they lost from the Wentz trade instead. Moving up, the Browns target a defender that they don't want to risk waiting 5 more picks for. Micah Parsons is easily one of the top 10 most talented players in this class. He can blow up the run, sack your favorite quarterback, or cover with the athleticism of a safety. He's reportedly done some ugly and messy things, to say the least, but hey, he fits right in with the culture. Going into the offseason, the Browns really just needed to focus on adding talent on defense despite the position. And out of all the defenders on the board, no one has a higher ceiling than Parsons. It's gonna be really tough to block Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, and now Micah Parsons, 3 of the most freakiest athletes in the league. With the Tennessee Tits on the clock, it pains me to give them this good of a pick, but hey, I gotta show off my GMing skills, right? In dire need of a cornerback after a confusing release of Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler, Greg Newsome will be a great partner for Christian Fulton to try and become the future of the Tits secondary. Newsome is an extremely athletic cornerback who can play in any coverage you ask. He's tall, he's long, he's got good ball skills. He rarely gets beat deep, and the Titans can play aggressive man coverage with Kevin Byard roaming deep in a lot of cover 1 looks. Newsome is a potential Pro Bowler, but it still won't matter because Ryan Tannehill is Ryan Tannehill, and they lost Arthur Smith, Jonnu Smith, and a lot of other talent this year. Mike Vrabel, the clock's ticking. How badly do you want it? The second time a team gets to make their second pick in the first round, and it is a good one. What was Robert Saleh's greatest accomplishments in terms of player development with the Niners? Fred Warner. And I can see Saleh pounding the table for a ton of linebackers in this class, so Zaven Collins is going to be the pick at 23. He can do a little bit of everything: rush the quarterback off the edge, cover tight ends in space, or stop the run from the strong, weak side, or even some Mike linebacker. Saleh can play with some more versatile looks that he ever did in San Fran because of the multiplicity that Collins offers. He's different than Warner, no doubt, but he can be just as important for Saleh's defense. The Steelers take one of the most Steelers players ever, Azeez Ojulari from Georgia. Ojulari might not be the biggest, the bendiest, or the strongest, but he plays with a dog mentality, especially in the run game. Get used to seeing the stab chop, Steelers fans. It's Ojulari's go-to pass rush move, and it's nasty. I think Ojulari can be one of the best pass rusher Robins, and when you've already got TJ Watt as your Batman, Ojulari can feast without getting double teamed. That defense needed a boost after losing multiple key starters, and Ojulari is a great start. The third and surprisingly not final team to have a second first round pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars look to take my advice and protect Trevor Lawrence. Lawrence didn't look like quarterback Jesus after all when he would get pressured, and Alex Leatherwood is here to make sure that doesn't happen. Not fully confident in Cam Robinson? Nah, I'm not either. But between he and Alex Leatherwood, someone can play left tackle, someone can play left guard. Just get him on the team and figure it out, Urban. You're getting paid more than enough to do so. After they traded down with Cleveland, the Colts get great value here in Elijah Vera Tucker. They've got a big hole to fill after Anthony Costanzo moved on, and protecting Wentz will give him the best chance for success. Vera Tucker has played right guard, left tackle, and left guard for the Trojans, and while I think he's best at left guard, he certainly looks good at tackle too. There's rumors floating out there that the Colts could just move Quentin Nelson out to left tackle and take a guard instead, so maybe Tucker gets to play left guard anyways. I don't have a crystal ball to know for sure, but this is a talent that the Colts just simply can't let fall any further, and it kind of pisses me off that they stole him. After their shocking trade to help the AFC favorite Chiefs, the Ravens find themselves in a dilemma. Wide receiver to finally give Lamar a legit threat? Offensive tackle to replace Brown? Pass rusher to replace Judon? It looks like the Ravens are going to go the route of a veteran at right tackle, and they still have another pick minutes away from here, so let's go get them a pass rusher with an all-pro ceiling. Jason Owe had a historic pro day, testing as a top 1% athlete. He's got all the physical attributes you could dream up for an edge rusher. And Baltimore has a good track record of coaching up raw, athletic freaks. If he reaches his ceiling, Ravens fans will see an impact reminiscent to some of their best players in team history. The Saints could certainly benefit from finding Drew Brees' heir, and spoiler alert, Jameis Winston ain't it. However, it would be a massive and idiotic reach to get Kellen Mond, Davis Mills, or Kyle Trask here. The Saints aren't just too smart for that. So they'll take one of the most talented players available and boost the weapons for whoever takes Brees' spot on the throne for good. Elijah Moore as the slot wide receiver Kadarius Toney stands should be drooling all over. Moore, Mike Thomas, and Alvin Kamara will become a serious big three and give Winston the confidence to put up another 30 touchdown, 30 interception season. Don't worry, Packers fans, I don't think y'all are going to be reaching for a quarterback for the future 2 years in a row here. Rodgers, he played like a man who was pissed that the team was even thinking about life after him. He's not ready for his Montana Young moment, and to keep his success going, the Packers finally get him a weapon that he deserves. The league and draft experts are exponentially higher on Rashad Bateman than I am. I mean, I like him, but I don't really believe he has a super high ceiling due to good but not great athleticism and measurables. But with Devontae Adams already here, Bateman doesn't need to be the bona fide wide receiver one. Adams can draw the tougher cornerback matchup, while LaFleur moves Bateman all around the field looking for the easiest guy to pick on. The Packers need to get past the Bucks to go get a Lombardi. So it's time to sharpen their swords and try to poke holes in that elite defense. At pick 30, the Bills can go a multitude of ways here. I really wanted to give them Najee Harris, but their front office is just too smart to take a running back in the first round, especially when they have more pressing needs. The Bills have always been at their best when they have an elite defense. That defense has slipped a little bit in the recent year, and the trenches need an overhaul. Everyone and their mama loves Joe Tryon, and I did too at one point, but I have soured on him a bit since. I think he lacks a lot of detail and nuance to his pass rushing skill set to really be successful in that regard right away, but the potential is definitely sky high there. Tryon can improve the run defense early in his career and expand his pass rushing skill set over time. His motor and physicality just screams Buffalo and a Sean McDermott defensive end. Go get him, Bean. With their second swing at bat, the Ravens give Lamar the tall, deep threat that he's always needed. While Lamar's improved since his days as a rookie, he's still not perfect. His downfield accuracy and passing overall, it needs to get better if he's ever going to silence the running back jokes. And Marshall is the type of wide receiver that will make Lamar look better, whether he improves that much or not. A jump ball and contested catch master, Marshall can single-handedly raise Lamar's completion percentage. He's been overshadowed by Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase for too damn long. But now he can go be the guy down in B-more. Concluding the first round, we've got the champs, and this was truly a hard pick to make. They retained their key free agents, so I didn't need to give them a wide receiver to replace Godwin, an edge to replace Barrett, a linebacker to replace David, or a DT to replace Sue. So if there's one thing that can help and has helped Tom Brady win rings, it's a powerful running game that can ensure Brady won't have to endure many third and longs. Adding Najee Harris to Ronald Jones brings the thunder that Fournette flashed last season. This addition helps keep Tampa as arguably the most balanced team in the league, and they should be the favorites to win it all until the season starts. That does it for the first round. Let me know how I did in the comments down below and how many picks you think I will actually get right out of 32. Welcome back, Texans fans. If you skipped ahead and didn't even watch the beginning of the video, I don't blame you. Just know I'm pushing you out the window in my dreams. Anyways, let's get into the action and make some damn picks. At 67, I'm going with my dream pick because, hey, I make the rules around here, alright? Payton Turner is the guy, and unless this is your first time listening to me, you know I think Turner is an absolute stud. He's a first-round talent in my eyes and a perfect fit for our team. At 67, he would definitely be BPA, and we've got to improve the trenches. Turner has perennial Pro Bowl potential, in my opinion, with a Danico Autry floor and Cameron Jordan ceiling. Nick Casserole's gotta reach peak casserole form this draft and keep this stud in the H. With our second pick and in the fourth round, we're able to land a starter on the offensive line for nearly a decade. Deontay Brown out of Alabama is the pick, and somebody I've loved for years. He was the only offensive lineman to hold his ground versus Derrick Brown in 2019, and Brown truly displayed just how powerful and menacing he can be in that one game alone. He's a perfect fit for our power run scheme that I've been talking about and making videos about that you're probably sick about, and I just can't wait to see Brown pancake his first defender on a pulling action. Getting into the fifth round here, and we look to bolster a receiving corps that's been taking some haymakers these past 2 years. One of my biggest sleepers, Ihmir Smith-Marsette out of Iowa, is getting seriously disrespected. I call him Baby Devontae Smith because of similar playstyles as athletic, nuanced route runners with strong hands and can get you yak in a hurry. Ihmir also has a slender frame. He also wears number 6, and he also has a Smith in his name. It just makes sense. The Texans go back to boosting the trenches with another one of my favorite players who I think is very underrated, and that is Tadaro Slayton out of Florida. Imagine a nose tackle body with one tech athleticism and exciting flashes of pass rush potential. Slayton can be the future of the DT position for the Texans, and if you don't believe me, watch the problems he gave Landon Dickerson of all people this past season. 3 down DTs are a premium in the league, and Slayton can play that valuable role for us nicely. Moving into the 6th round for their first of 3 picks, and the Texans reap the benefits of the Tampa 2 scheme. Within this scheme, the skill set required by starting a cornerback is so specific that you can play someone who is limited in a lot of areas and only strong in a few. Israel Mukuamu is the ideal Tampa 2 cornerback with absurd height, length, physicality, and enough flashes of playmaking ability in zone coverage to make Tony Dungy come like Deshaun Watson 3 times a week. Bring him along at his own pace, learning from the vets in front of him, and please don't move Mukuamu to safety before giving him a fair shot at cornerback. Despite having a pretty full rotation and competition at running back, the Texans would be wise to take one of the many talented day 3 guys, and Jermar Jefferson is my cup of tea. An extremely smooth runner, he makes cutting up field and bursting through the hole look effortless. He might not get many snaps this year, but when Lindsey, Ingram, and Johnson's contracts all expire next year, we won't be feeling desperate to make an ill-advised trade. Nick continues to climb up the casserole scale here with this next pick, and he steals Derek Forrest, the safety out of Cincinnati here, in the late 6th. Forrest can do a bit of everything, playing as a single high, in 2 high, or in the box. He can be a great complement to the evil twins and have them evolve into the terrifying triplets. Since Forrest can play any role, he'll be great insurance if either Reed or Lonnie go down with injury, seamlessly transitioning into whatever the defense needs from him. The final pick of the video, and the Texans go with a quarterback. My favorite developmental quarterback prospect, and that is Jamie Newman. Newman is a great athlete who's a powerful runner, and he also shows a lot of promise as a thrower. He is accurate in the short and intermediate areas of the field and has flashes of dropping dimes on back shoulder fades as a deep thrower. He's raw as almighty hell and his numbers look bad, but he's the type of guy who you bet that Pep Hamilton can develop because of his athleticism and arm talent. If Nick can pull off this type of draft this weekend, oh man, your boy is going all caps mode on Twitter until the season starts. It will be that good. Alright, that's gonna do it for the video. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the mock draft. Make sure to come back every day of the draft and tune in to the live stream. Take care, everyone. Come back for more, and remember, the film don't lie.